Hi, I'm Velocity Raptor from Dallas Derby Devils, and this is Derby Rocks Radio.
She's the hottest little deal on eight wheels, burning like a babe out of hell. Jamming in a blocker and a little skull knocking, it's enough to make a grown man yell. Go, go, roller girl, look at that girl roll. Roller derby saved my soul.
Happy Friday night. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. Let's see if we remember how to do this live radio thing. It is your old pals, Shram and Cash. That is right. Anderson is in the other room making a mess. Mom's in the corner. We've got the whole damn Shram family. Hi, how are you? Happy Friday. It's Derby Rocks. What is going on, Cash, man?
Hey, welcome to the show. It's a Friday, and we're here in the studio. It's always a lot of fun to do this way. You know, it's been a busy time. So it's good. It's great when I get some time to get together with you guys, and because first of all, I haven't seen y'all in forever, and second of all, you got that little cutie with you, you know. That is
awesome.
Is mobile.
Yeah, man, we got a walking boy now. It's pretty crazy. He's moving all over the place. He's making a mess in the other room. It's awesome. We're having a ton of fun. But yeah, like you said, it's good to be back in studio. Good to be here. I will say it's going to be an interesting show. We do have a great interview that Cash did this week with Veronica Scars, who is the head NSO of like
head GT.
Thank you, GTO for World Cup, right? That's like right around the corner.
It's
also involved in a million tournaments throughout the year and stuff. So Veronica Scars is going to be on the podcast. But if you're here in Rochester listening locally on 106.3 WRFZ, you're going to hear an old interview with Duke of Hearts from Penn Jersey Roller Derby, which is moderately topical because with Battle of Bunker Hill coming up, we are in fact going to play Penn Jersey. So it works. It's topical either way. So all good. I'm just happy to be back. We made it work today. We drove. I'm going to talk all about my week or weeks coming up here shortly, but we drove like 15 hours throughout the day yesterday to make it back from Atlanta, Georgia. This little baby boy was a trooper. So we've got a lot to talk about, a lot to mention, but yeah, we've got a topical show. Regardless of which one you catch, that's all right. But yeah, it's great to be back in studio. It's great to see you. It's funny. Of course, somebody forgot something and, then the show open got messed up, and it's like nothing changes.
There we go. Yeah, it's like we were rookies at this. We've never done this before.
Yeah, only 500 episodes later, but hey, we're here. It's awesome.
My goodness.
I will say the sun is shining. I'm, even though it's a relatively reasonable day out there, I'm a bit sad because I was just down south where it was literally 90 one day and 80 another day, and but it's March, the end of March in Rochester, so the 40 degree days are what it is. You know, that's just how it happens. And at least the sun's shining today. I'll take that. That's pretty great.
Yeah. It fools you into think it's a lot warmer, but it isn't. It's still cold.
No. But hey, we're here. Derby is in full swing. If you've been paying attention, there's new events being added all the time. There's new announcements, new calls for officials, things like that. There's pretty much a barrage of new stuff being announced all the time, or events happening all the time, and big stuff too. Plus, we've just gotten all the down low information on all the North American qualifiers and Western Hemisphere and Eastern Hemisphere Cups and all that stuff, because we're not doing qualifiers this year, but we're doing Western and Eastern Hemisphere Cups. So, then we've got, WFTDA, all the postseasons being announced there. So there is a lot of derby going on. It is absolutely awesome.
In fact, when Veronica Scars, we talk a little bit about no MRDA championships this year. We have the Western and the Eastern Hemisphere Cups, but because of the craziness in this world and other reasons why, and plus we got a World Cup, less than a month away. It's coming in April, so it's like we're super excited for that. You definitely don't want to miss out. It's good. It's a fun interview, and Cash is. it seems like he's scatterbrained in his old age because he tends to forget things once in a while, and so that's why we're going to have another interview. But you won't hear this when you hear the podcast. You'll hear Veronica Scars. So
I talked about my OCD and my obsessive compulsive disorder, and I don't have actually OCD diagnosed, but my therapist was talking to me about the O and the C and stuff today, and how that and it's I have those conversations where it's I definitely grabbed that thing, or I didn't, or I make Jennifer go back and check the door several times, or ask her over and over again if we definitely did something. So that might be a new thing that I'm going to have to kind of dig into, because I wasn't prepared for her to be oh, well, you might have this thing.
Really?
Yeah. So that was the thing I learned about myself today.
Would that mean a lot? Did that explain a lot?
No.
No. Okay.
No.
Yeah.
I mean, it's when she mentioned it, it was very much just huh. But yeah, I get it. I overdo it sometimes, and then even today, I still forgot my little camera when we took the boy out for a little bit earlier. So
so
it happens to the best of us, even though you are hella old.
I am hella old, man. Yeah. So we got some. That'll be fantastic later. But there's some craziness going in this world, man. It's last time we got together, it just started. But man,
I was gonna say there wasn't a war the last time we actually recorded. That's how fast things change, these days. So it's struggling. The world's struggling and everyone's struggling to, but man, all we got to do is just get along with each other, man. It's all. I mean, you say it it's so simple.
I know.
You and I can get along and that's great, but
it's
a lot of people who can't.
But that's going. But we did check off on the box the weather here because it's terribly cold, and
I mean it's 40. It's not horrible.
No, and I want to throw out that the Rochester Junior Roller Derby had their big fundraiser on Wednesday this past week.
Nice.
Yeah, they that always looks like a lot of fun if you ever see the videos. It's doing laps for
So we're actually in the process. We haven't, started ours yet because I wanted to let them get theirs out of the way and all that good stuff. But Flower City Roller Derby is going to do one of those, so be on the lookout for that. We'll put the call for donations out there, and you'll be able to say, "Hey, I want to donate, 10 cents per lap, or I want to donate, $20 total, or whatever the case is." So we'll have, a skate-a-thon coming up as well. So
that's cool.
It's great to see, and it's always very successful for the juniors too, which is amazing. So that's why I'm kind of stealing the idea, and we're actually getting help from Morty and Texas. Texas apparently wrote the software that they use to collect the donations and stuff like that. And I asked if he would make us an iteration of it, and he's thrilled to do it, which is even cooler because I felt like I was being a pain in his ass, but he was honestly really thrilled. So I've just got to get a couple of answers back to him. We've been corresponding via email to get it going, but I'm excited for that. So thanks to the juniors. I hope it was another successful year. And I straight up stole your idea. Thank you.
How are you physically? You good?
I'm getting there. Yeah, it's all right. I haven't had one of those crazy back-breaking practices or anything. I've been back a little bit. I did have the last practice I did, I just fell a little bit just doing simple drills. I fell and landed on my butt cheek a couple of times, nothing crazy. And I was, a little bit sore for a couple of days, but is that just because I haven't been doing derby and not been falling on my butt, or is that because I have a back with a bunch of broken vertebrae in it, kind of thing? So we'll see. I'm going to Bob H here in a few weeks, and I'm going to give it the old college try. I feel good. I think I'll know pretty quick if I can hang anymore or not, sort of, unfortunately. The pros and the cons, I guess, of everything, or I won't even say the pros and the cons. More so, there's opportunity to make my back stronger. Is I haven't been doing a ton of weight training.
Sure.
I've been trigger warning. I have been intentionally losing weight, taking weight loss meds and stuff like that. So while I'm doing that, I'm not doing like weight training and things like that. Plus, I've been working on healing my back.
Yeah.
So, but no, the goal is to still be a productive member of the team.
Oh, I mean, well, I saw you back in January. You were a productive member of a mix-up team. So.
Yeah, I mean, but that's always, a little bit different than, competitive MRDA games and that, maybe I was trying a little bit harder that day than some other people or maybe, I don't know, maybe I had good people on my line or
you were kind of testing yourself too, I think. I remember that. So,
So we'll see. Practices have felt good, but again, I haven't had like huge like knockout, drag out kind of practice or anything like that. So we'll see. But yeah, it's been feeling good. How's everything been going with you? Why don't you you doing all right? You want to get into your week?
Let's
Tell me
get
how
into
everything's
it. Yeah.
going because I've actually got a fair amount of stuff.
Yeah, I'm going to be very quick because we want to get. We've got probably about 15 minutes before we got to get out of here. So my week, I don't know. I mean, I don't. Nothing truly Derby worthy to talk about in my week.
Anything else? You done anything else?
Well, I've talked about how my brother had some problems, and
how's he recovering?
He's home, and I've been out there a few times to help out. Help him out getting around and picking up some stuff at the store and doing some stuff and hanging out and but he's having a rough time of it, and it's
I'd imagine so.
Yeah,
he was already having kind of a rough
his vision's going, and
now
he's
it's getting worse.
Yeah,
right?
so it but beyond that, I don't know. I'm healthy. I feel good. That way. This week, today was like the last day of school for a week for most of the for most of the school, which means I'll get to work in an empty building for a few days, which is pretty cool. Which allows me to get some stuff done where I can't get it done normally, and I can't think of anything else that's jumping out at me. I did play. I don't know if I ever talked about it when I know that we've done the show since, but I did play in a charity basketball.
Talked about it. How did it go? I've been meaning
the basketball game.
Did you get any buckets?
I did not get any buckets, but no one scored against me at all. I played in the paint. I was the tallest guy out there. So there was, so at least I played defense. But it was a lot of fun. It was a blast. It's all for charity, and it was. I'm glad. Yeah, I meant to mention it probably the last time, but it's nice to get out there and realize I can't run up and down the court. At least not like I could when I was much younger. But we did practice a few times, so we did get out there and practice some offensive things. But yeah, it was a blast, and it's fun. I'm obviously one of the oldest people out there playing on the game. So all these young 25-year-old teachers who are like, doing like the Harlem Globetrotters, rolling the ball down there from their hand to their other hand and, spinning it on their finger. And I'm like, I'll just stand in the way. I take up space. So, but beyond that, that was about the excitement and all. But, it's it's fun because, after the last time we did the show, we had 2 tournaments that were streamed, and I watched the Salem tournament more than I watched the Clover Cup.
Yeah, a lot of high skill derby there. So I don't blame you for watching.
Yeah, it was nice to see
teams too.
Friends. Gatekeepers were playing. Concussion was playing. They had a lot of the best teams in the country. So that was a lot of fun. So, but how about you? How are you doing?
Things are pretty great. Everything's been busy. Obviously, we're having a ton of fun raising this baby. With him walking and stuff now, it's pretty wild. We're getting into more adventures, and we can kind of do a bit more. So we're doing like, playgrounds or play places and having fun doing stuff like that. I don't know if we've talked about it earlier. We did some family stuff with her dad for his birthday. We went out to the Amherst game, and then we did some family dinners and stuff like that. The big news recently is that we went to Nashville and Atlanta. We went to Nashville and Atlanta. I've never been to Arizona. That was really weird that I said that. Very nice, I'm sure. I do sales for a learning content management system, and part of that is, we do trade shows here and there. One aspect of my sales is Zoos and aquariums. So I went to the AZA mid-year conference, the the Association of Zoos and Aquariums, rather. Yeah, the Association of Zoos and Aquariums. This was their mid-year conference in Atlanta. But before we headed down, we stopped at Newport, Kentucky on the way down, in a place called Newport on the Levee or whatever. It was like right on the Ohio River, literally right across the from Ohio. Pretty cool little spot. It was like an outdoor mall.
Is that near Pittsburgh? Is that? I'm trying to think. No. Okay.
No. So this was past like Cincinnati. We went into and near the Ohio.
That's
River.
what I'm thinking. Cincinnati's were Three Rivers. Yeah. Hello.
So we did that on the way down. Our first night we ended up in Nashville. I had never been to Nashville, and we did the Broadway thing and went downtown, where it's like the crazy bars and all the country singers have their own personal bars, like Dierks Bentley. I think Kid Rock has a bar down there, stuff like that. So it was like a bit overwhelming, but it was a cool experience getting to go and do it. We saw like actual butts, because it is like a party town after all. There were just like butts, like, and I mean this, but like. I'm very like free the nipple, wear what you want, but yeah, there was a variety of butts just out, lots of fascinating outfits and things like that. But yeah, I mean, it's Nashville, the party town, in like the biggest like downtown part of the city. We did check out the Ryman Theater as well, which is a huge old historic music venue. So we just did a lot of stuff, and then ultimately ended up in Atlanta for a few days, where I took part in the conference. As part of the conference, they had an event at the aquarium there, which is one of the most incredible aquariums. It's huge. They have like beluga whales. There was like a sperm whale. Or a whale shark, or whichever, I forget which one. The aquarium has like 6.5 gallons of water, or 6.5 million gallons of water.
Wow.
Just truly unbelievable. And then another day we got to go to the zoo, which is really cool there too. So the Georgia Zoo and the Atlanta Aquarium were both really awesome. For me, it was particularly cool. I don't have much of an education as far as like a formal education. I'm very lucky to have the job that I have, and the fact that I can have the opportunity to do things like essentially get paid to take like little trips and bring the family along. That type of stuff is particularly important and special to me, being able to do so. Because there's likely better people suited for my job or whatever out there, and I'm just lucky enough to have it and do pretty well for somebody who doesn't have much of an education.
You got a pizzazz, man.
I mean, I don't disagree, and I can schmooze with just about anybody, but a lot of jobs like mine require a degree or whatever.
Sure.
And I am very lucky to be a learning consultant and do a pretty reasonable job with the skills that I do have, and I have a great company that believes in me and sends me to things like a conference, where part of that conference is going to zoos and aquariums and eating free food and free drink and stuff like that at these private events.
Sure.
And so on. That's like, for me, I don't always love it, and it's exhausting. Being on and shaking all those hands and doing the like 30-second pitch, 100 times in a weekend to 100 different people. So it's definitely a lot, but overall, really cool experience. We also went to Olympic Park. Boop. You okay? Yep. Shake it off, big guy.
All right.
Great job, buddy. We went to Olympic Park. Got to do the big Ferris wheel in Olympic Park. They also have like the really cool Olympic ring-shaped fountain where they had a like water show to music.
Yeah.
We kind of just stumbled upon that. Very cool. We caught some of my favorite like restaurants. Like growing up in Illinois, there's White Castle on every other street corner,
Sure.
and there's none anymore in around us or anything like that. So I always get White Castle where there's some, so I was lucky enough to get White Castle twice. We checked out Buc-ee's. I'm actually rocking a new
see
Buc-ee's
that
hoodie.
Buc-ee's. You're going to get a picture and post it on the video.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's truly overwhelming experience. I am not being facetious when I say that they have like at least 300 gas pumps.
Wow.
Yeah. And that's not including like the inside. They're literally making like brisket.
Yeah.
They have like a jerky factory in these places. They're making fudge. It's there's 1 million people at a time. There's beaver mascots. It's just a truly insane environment, and I get why people are in it.
Yeah.
And I bought like the dumbest merch. We bought him like a Buc-ee's camping chair because it's cute, and I love kitschy BS. Ooh, excuse me. Yeah. All good stuff. We went to Hooters because I legitimately like the shrimp from there.
I like the chicken wings.
Of course you do.
Yeah.
They're pretty reasonable chicken wings.
Yeah.
But I'm a big fan of the shrimp that they have. And it was half price seafood Sunday, so I got them for half off.
There you go.
So yeah, we got to check out some like of the stupid kind of food places that I like.
I think somebody else is.
You weirdo. No, Mom's been in town too. That's been great. She was kind enough to come watch the house, so Anderson and Jennifer could come with. I don't know. Lots of stuff. What else did we do? I don't know. I'm getting another job because of course I am. I'm going to start working sort of on like an as needed basis at a bowling alley out in Canandaigua. My buddy is one of the like investors, and another guy that I know is one of the owners. So I'm going to start doing that.
That's cool. I've been there before. They've got like the neon bowling there or whatever.
Yeah, I mean it's crazy. It's like a family. It's like a family fun center now.
Yeah.
They have like laser tag and the indoor bumper cars and everything, which is pretty wild. So as always, there is a ton going on. A lot of good stuff, a lot to be happy about, a lot to look forward to.
Yeah.
We've got the Battle of Bunker Hill like 3 weeks away in Dover, New Hampshire, with some great teams and some great friends. So it's going to be awesome. And it's great. You know, we went, we took the boy to Ontario Play Cafe today with Mom. That was a lot of fun. Great to spend time with her. Just a lot of really good
How'd the boy
positive
do in a
stuff.
15-hour drive?
Better than you would expect, honestly. Okay. Yeah, he was like the MVP of the trip, quite honestly. He did very well. He didn't whine too much, and if he did, we were able to like hand him a cookie or his pacifier or something like that and kind of get through. But on the way back, we did stop a fair amount. At one point, we stopped and got lunch out and had like a nice lunch outdoors, and then went and played on a playground for an hour or something like that. So we stopped pretty regularly because it was just so long. So we left at like 4. We left at around 4 in the morning and then didn't get home until about 11 last night. So it made for a really long day, but we got it done in one day, where on the way down we stopped and stayed in Nashville before we went to Atlanta. So,
very cool.
Ton of awesome stuff going on. I know we're running out of time here.
I got some scores I want to do before
we go ahead and hit those before we hit the interview. But awesome stuff, man. It's hard to complain.
Cool. So closest bouts from last week in WFTDA, we had Sacramento 137 over Cherry City 136. Ooh, 1 point win. We had Black Rose Rollers 160 over Tampa 156. We had Circle City beating Akron 126 to 110. South Bend beating Cornfed 198 to 176. And biggest upsets, there's a lot of them, but Queen City 232 over Montreal 80. It's like I haven't seen Montreal. I mean, I can't
imagine it's the new Skids.
It was the new skids that were playing. So yeah, that was the no, sorry, this is the less accessible, as they
I was
say.
gonna
Yeah,
say. So like, isn't that the B team?
that's the B. Yeah. So okay, yeah, that's right. It's like holy cow.
Yeah, I'm no, not to disparage anybody's win. Like
Yeah.
a win's a win's a win, and Montreal's B team is fantastic.
Sure, yeah.
but yeah, that would be pretty unheard of to have Buffalo beat Montreal,
Yeah.
who's like the third best team in the world.
Yeah, one of them. That's for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah.
We got Innsbruck over Wet City Rollers, 225 to 179, and Nuclear Free 167 over Southern Cal 133. Rocket Queens 165 over Sacramento 142. This week we've got a bunch of games. Callio versus Olu going on, as well as Lam at Tiger Bay. We have Rainy City at Olu. It looks like there's a tournament going now, and Callio is, I believe, in Australia and in that area. So those are all the games going on. We did have MRDA. We had last week. Last weekend there was one game. Jules Vernes lost to the Quad Guards 226 to 69. I do have a couple of games that are going on, including our friends in Syracuse have game tomorrow. Salt City. You can join them at the Three Rivers Athletic Complex for their first game of the season. The Riggies and the Spuds. Doors open. Yes, doors open at 5. First whistle at 6. Seating is available in the bleachers. To get a closer seat, you got to bring a chair. Yeah, we got that. There's raffles, $15 to get in. 12 and under are for free. Lafayette Roller Derby's got their season opener Saturday night against Star City Supernovas. The game doors open at 6. The game starts at 7. It's at the Tippecanoe County Fairgrounds at $12. You can get until doors it'll be 15, but if you can get them before Friday at 5, which has already happened, you can't then. So never mind. $15 and free admission for children 10 and under. We got the Braden Tucky Bombers. They're going to be playing New Jack City Rollers, a different New Jack team.
Huh?
The New Jacks
there's Jacksonville and then there's New Jacks, I think.
Oh, is there?
There was a fair amount of drama.
Yeah, and they changed to a few of the people have left and gone and form a new team.
Yeah.
That is the 28th, 4:30, Ellington Ice and Sports Complex. I think that's all the news I've got. We had some great scores from the Salem's games 2 weeks ago.
We had the Gatekeepers kind of avenging their loss at Champs
to Concussion. Yeah, that was.
So that's going to be exciting. The drama is ripe for the what is it? The Western Hemisphere.
That's going to be in Dallas. Yeah,
it's going to be a great event.
So why don't we go hit some music, and we're going to go to break, come back with an interview with Juka Hearts, but we'll be back on the flip side. And if you're listening to this on the internet, up next will be our interview with Veronica Scars, head GTO of World Cup.
Are we coming back at all, or are we just...
No, we're getting out of here.
We're going to go ahead and get out of here then. You're going to hear some interview next, depending on where you're listening. We love and appreciate you, and we'll see you sometime soon.
Yay.
Say bye.
All right, we're back here in Derby Rocks on 106.3 FM WRFZ. Cash with you. Shram is in Atlanta. He might be showing up. I don't know. He might be showing up, but he's not right now. But we are lucky to be joined by, and this is, I'm going to throw out, if you ever have gone to Derby, participated in Derby in the Rochester area, there's a good chance that Veronica Scars had something to do with the show, running the shows that you were watching. And so we're joined right now by Veronica Scars from Rock City Roller Derby, as well as Flower City Fear, any Derby in Rochester area junior roller derby. Thank you so much for the time tonight. And congratulations on, so your GTO, you're in charge of everything going on, pretty much.
Something like that. Yep.
Isn't that crazy? That's awesome. I mean, what a big deal. We had our last men's World Cup canceled due to this thing called COVID.
Yeah.
So this is like the first time, I think, since 2018 that we are having a the men's World Cup this year. That's super excited. I'm super excited for it. So far, how much work has it been?
It's been a lot of work. There is, for the event, there are 2 tracks. I want to say 24 teams. It's a lot of teams. And it's 2 tracks for the Thursday and Friday, and then we're going down to 1 track for Saturday and Sunday because we don't have the venue for all 4 days, the smaller venue for all 4 days. And so it's been a lot of work trying to help out with the people that are doing the scheduling. They've had us like kind of reviewing the scheduling for the teams. Not I'm not doing the scheduling, but they've had me like look over some of the scheduling stuff to make sure it like makes sense and stuff. And so and like doing things like one of the things we've done is we had teams send in their uniforms and helmet covers ahead of time so we could like approve them before they all ordered uniforms and helmet covers and stuff. So that was a big thing that we did. Had all the teams sending those in and then going through and approving them, and like we've been using Discord for this, is so having like the tournament head officials as well as the other GTOs looking over and reviewing everything and saying like, oh, this uniform's fine, or this there's an issue with this uniform, and then having someone like back to the teams and being like, we need this is what we need to be to have changed. So it's a lot of like different things that I didn't even think about that have to be done before the tournament.
Yeah, so now we are jumping into it about the tournament, but man, we need to learn a little bit about you. And so tell me, how did you discover roller derby? How did it get into your life?
Um, Many years ago, I think 2013, I want to say. My cousin was getting married, and at the wedding, I ran into someone who knew me when I was very little. He's from Vermont. He skated with the Mean Mountain Boys. His name was Bucky. Um, I know his real name. And I ran into him at the wedding and we were talking. He was telling me all about Derby, and he told me how Rochester had this great Derby team, Rock City Roller Derby, and I should check it out. So I was like, yeah, that sounds kind of interesting. So I went to a couple of games and I was like, this seems kind of fun. I kind of want to see about maybe getting involved and volunteering. And so I ended up going to like the boot camp and found out skating wasn't necessarily my thing. And started NSOing, and I really, really enjoyed NSOing. And that was in 2014 when I started NSOing.
Oh my, that's around the same time I think I got involved. I mean, I'd been a fan before that, but I did not get involved until they were looking for announcers. So yeah, there's a position for everybody in roller derby. You don't necessarily have to be a skater, that's for sure.
Oh.
Yeah, so that's awesome. So it's since 2014, and so now you probably have quite a resume of tournaments you've worked, and tournament head official as well, I'm guessing. Non-skating head official. When did you first decide that maybe it was time, you were going to explore outside, and then maybe like help out with tournaments other places and stuff? How did that come about?
Well, I was very lucky coming into Rochester as an official because we had the 19th Wardens. And when I first started, there was a lot of support from very seasoned and veteran officials. We had like Izzy Hamilton, and we had Izzy, and we had God, I'm blanking on names, but
90
David
Degrees
Darko.
Johnson. Oh yeah.
Yep, I didn't work too much with 90 before he left the Rochester area, unfortunately, but he is another person that was instrumental in building up the community derby community around here as well. But I was lucky to learn from these people that had a lot of experience and did a lot of tournaments. And I found out like they traveled a lot for different tournaments. Like Davey Darko, for example, he is one of the ones that travels. He traveled a lot for tournaments to officiate. And after talking with them, I think it was fairly early on in my derby career, where I started going to tournaments. Like there was All Eight on the Floor that Sidekick was really involved with, who is also from Rochester, and he encouraged us to go to that because it was built as a learning tournament, which is I love learning tournaments for officials. It's a great place to learn. It's a great place to meet officials from other areas and like learn different techniques that they may use or different like things that they may do officiating wise. And so yeah, it was fairly early. I think it was in 2014 when I started doing tournaments. Like pretty much right off the bat. And so I did quite a few tournaments as an NSO. It wasn't until after COVID that I did any tournament head. I was originally right before COVID. I had agreed to be a tournament head official, like a tournament head NSO apprentice at I don't remember exactly which tournament, but one of the tournaments with Fanta from Long Island. And unfortunately, COVID happened, and that just kind of nixed a lot of my plans. So after COVID, I was like looking when I started doing more derby. I decided to try tournament head NSOing, and I did that. I think JRDA playoffs in Rochester was the first place where I did that.
All right. Yeah, I was a tournament head announcer there, and which is pretty cool. I know I was going to say right before COVID happened, I had an opportunity to help out as an apprentice or whatever with the siege of
Mhm.
Central New York, and that didn't ever happened, of course, unfortunately. But that's awesome. So, and now since you've done that, you realize, oh, this is a piece of cake. I can do all these ones now, and you've had quite a few under your belts, including the Western Hemisphere a couple of years ago, right? That no, it was a roller derby
Uh,
tournament, I think.
I did actually at Western Hemisphere Cup was when I tournament head NSO. I apprenticed as a tournament head NSO. That was like my first like really big MRDA tournament that I took on a leadership role. And it was a fascinating experience. It was a lot. I learned a lot from that experience. And then it was there that I kind of got to talking to, I think is then that I got talking to like Moose about GTOing because I was like, that kind of looks interesting. What does it entail? And from there, like the following year is when I apprenticed with Moose and learned how to GTO. And I learned a lot from him as a GT to as how to GTO. I did that at Dawn of the Derby. And then from there I started GTOing. I think my first real experience GTOing on my own was at Bob Age. It was supposed to be at Dumpster Fire, but I got COVID.
No.
So it became Bob Age. Um, and I did, I guess I did such a good job that they invited me back to do playoffs last year and then championships, the MRDA championships last year. And then this year I've just fully dove into some of the GTOing. I'm going to be GTOing the World Cup, and then I'll be doing playoffs at Lansing for WIFTDA as well this year.
Very cool. Very cool. I was going to say the hemisphere that tournament you were talking about, that original one, was
Mhm.
the closest things we had to champs for the
Yes.
MRDA. So that was, that was a pretty big deal,
Yeah.
It was a well-watched tournament. I know that online and stuff like that. So that's very cool. So that's awesome. So, and then you just like, why not jump headfirst in and work with 20 plus teams in France, which I'm sure, that's I'm sure that's a little bit more of a headache than anything else. I'm guessing because that is a bigger deal. I mean, this is the world is watching, as they say. So that's got to be so cool. Now I was going to ask you. You're going to France. Has roller derby taken you other places? I mean, you get to travel.
I have. I did go to. I officiated MRDA World Cup in Calgary. God, that was 2016. I want to say. So and that was the farthest I had traveled. That was the like outside of the country, outside of like just north of the border for us. Was like the farthest I had traveled. And then I went to Portland for champs, and that was another place I had never been. So I do enjoy the fact that I get to travel to these places I've never been, and I try to build in a little extra time so I can explore a little before I actually have to do derby. So I get to enjoy the city, especially when I'm like ahead, where I know I'm going to be at the venue the entire time when I'm there. So I'm like, maybe I'll go a little day extra so I can explore some things beforehand.
Well,
So yeah.
that makes complete sense because it's like I've done a bunch of tournaments and I'm just there for the first day and I leave on the last day and I don't get to see anything. And it's like, so you're going to be doing some sightseeing when you go to France?
Yeah, we are flying in a day early, so we'll get to hang out in Paris a little bit before we drive down to to the tournament in Orleans.
That's very cool. So it does make you a world traveler there, doing these great things with roller derby. So let me talk a little bit about roller derby in general. You've been, obviously, you said since 2014.
Mhm.
You've seen the rule sets change over the years.
Yes.
Yeah. So do you feel now that where we're at now is the most streamlined version of roller derby? I mean, 2014 wasn't double whistles, was it?
It wasn't double whistles. We still did have minute penalties though. um, yeah, it was not. We still had the inside whiteboard. We don't have that anymore.
Well,
Um,
that's a
yeah,
shame. That's a shame. But I mean, I mean, obviously, it seems like it makes the game flow better now. I think 30-second penalties and a lot of silliness taken out and stuff is which is great. But has that any of those? Do you remember the painstaking days of the early days of Derby and like some of the just I mean having to know that rule book was pretty intense too, and especially for the different kinds of penalties and stuff.
yeah. It's a lot sometimes to remember because I've been doing a lot of PLT, penalty lineup tracking, and it's like I'll be out in the middle, and one of the things you're looking for is the different penalties called in skaters for the team you're tracking, and sometimes I'll see a ref do the hand signal and I can't hear the call and I'm like, I know what that is, but I can't remember what that is. So it's like I go to have to go to the other person and be like, what does this mean again? And it's like I know this, but every once in a while it's just like you space like you blank out on what the code is when you're in the middle and you're like, oh no, I don't remember. So it's a lot, but I think like the more you do it and the more often you do it, the easier it is to remember the different rules and everything, and the little nuances.
I remember when they changed all the hand signals and how it was like
Mhm.
that's kind of like no, it was like I remember I still to this day have issues with that. So it's like, but that the rule sets, I mean, they change, they'll keep changing, I'm sure eventually, but I think right now they're
Mhm.
probably, I mean, I feel they're the most streamlined, keeps the
Yeah.
game moving, and it's not, not slowing down too much. But it's fun to see managers who can manipulate the rules sometimes, and then they,
Might be fun for you. I don't know.
yeah,
It is for
true,
me.
true. And it just shows you then they've read those books very closely too. So, and then they try stuff. It happens. Yeah, it's true. You're right. So let me ask you, what about roller derby makes you want to stick with it? Makes you keep coming back every week?
I mean, a big part of it's the community and the friends that I've made. Like, um, just the people that I've worked with that have trained me. Like, just talking about like Moose, for example. I've only known him a few years, but it feels like I've known him for forever because we've just connected and like worked together so well. So like just finding those people that you work with so well in that community and just the different type of people you meet, the like openness of the community as well, how accepting everyone usually is. It's very special. It's something you don't find in everyday world. And yeah, it's a big part of what brings me back. It's the people. It's working with the different people. It's special.
It's an awesome answer, and that's I think a lot of us feel the same way.
Mhm.
A lot of people find Derby when they have gaps and things in their lives, and Derby fills in really nicely, and it's like it's pretty cool. So what are some of the, I mean, obviously you probably are have like some pretty cool moments that you've seen in roller derby. Anything that pops out that like, maybe that's another, reinforcer for why you come back is like just certain things that happen during a game or some, I know like people have like, oh, I remember, a lot of skaters and stuff have memories of actually scoring or doing something during a game. Do you have anything in particular that like that pops out and makes you like, that's a reason I'm here, or something like that?
Um, I I mean, I guess most recently at Champs, just the way we were able to like as a GTO, like we were able to like keep things on schedule and keep things moving, and just like the working with the tournament heads, like working with Wolverine as the tournament head NSO, and working with Moose, and like just how smoothly we worked together, and how it was like we had it down to like after a couple of games we had it down to like an art where it's like I would take the stats book, I'd download it off of the thing, and I'd hand it to the tournament head NSO Wolverine, and he would like go through and double check it, and then I'd have it back in a few minutes. And I'd be able to like submit the stats books, and so we had like everything down to just it was very streamlined, and just it was just like kind of like it just flowed really well. It was just it's like so it feels nerdy, but it was just so cool to see how smoothly we had everything working. And it was like, I don't know, it's just situations like that where it's like everything's just working right, and everyone's working so well together that I love moments like that. It just feels good.
That's very cool. I was going to say, as a fan, I watched a lot of that tournament, and it looked like it moved very smoothly from being the fans' perspective. Plus, you got some incredible play during that tournament, some very close games, and it's like
Were real close. They
very
were really fun to watch.
yeah, that was I enjoyed, a lot of times I'm like, oh, I wish I could be there. I wish I could be there. And that was one where I was like the whole time, it's like every first games, it's like I wanted to be there. So that's cool. That's cool. Now there's no men's championship this year. I know there's the Western Hemisphere in Dallas, I think.
That's as far as I know, the plan right now is the Dallas, the it's like a Western Hemisphere Cup in Dallas in the beginning of August, and then an Eastern Hemisphere Cup in Toulouse in France. They have not announced the dates as far as I'm aware for that yet, and I think they're looking maybe October. I'm not 100% sure on the dates yet, but yeah, they didn't. There was a lot of discussion over whether or not to do like playoffs and championships just because of everything going on with the world and difficulties traveling in and out of the US. So that's how it ended up being the two cups, I believe.
I get that. And plus we got a World Cup year too. So,
Yeah.
do you see yourself maybe going back to Toulouse if they
Two trips to France in one year might be a bit much, but
oh,
who knows? I have not even thought that far ahead. I'm just trying to get through like World Cups and all of that first before
yeah,
I look
I mean, and not only do you have the World Cup, but after that you mentioned you're going to be in
inland.
yeah.
Oh, well, I'll be at so World Cup is at the end of April, and then a couple weeks after that, I'll be GTOing Dawn of the Derby in Pittsburgh, and then a couple weeks after that, we'll be in Lansing for as a GTO. Mhm.
Cool, very
So,
cool. You're in
yeah.
I mean, I'm up in Waterloo, Ontario. I'm gonna participate, help out, announce that one. So I'm kind of excited about that. So,
Yeah.
yeah, we got we're gonna have a full blown WFTDA championship this year. So that's
Mhm.
very exciting as well. Which I think that's in oh, where is it? Finland? I don't
Malmo?
know. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, it's far away, so we'll be watching that too. It'd be getting up at 4 in the morning to watch games that time, but that's very cool. So you got what do you a lot of people, we talk to skaters and everything and say, what's your end game when it comes to derby? Because a lot of skaters like, I'm going to train, I'll be like a coach and stuff. You have like a exit plan for when you're like, okay, I've had enough of this, or I'm sure there's a lot of people. It's like it's never going to happen. It's like I can understand that.
I mean, I don't know. I don't really. I as long as I'm having fun, as long as I'm enjoying the people I'm working with, then I don't see any reason not to do it. And yeah, that's where I'm at.
It's a great answer. I agree 100%. 100%. So I'm going to give you one more and I'm going to let you go. And I appreciate the time. What do you think the future of roller derby is? You know,
Well, give me an easy one.
I will say one thing. I'll say one thing. We do have WFTDA and MRDA working together in Dallas for this Western Hemisphere. So I find that interesting. I mean, that could be a possible answer. A lot of people, they'll say the youth coming up and stuff like that. What do you think?
I think it's the JRDA, like a lot of juniors aging up. And I think I don't know as much from the WFTDA side, but I've seen from the MRDA side what they've embraced the juniors at NAQ and at the championships last year. They had junior expo games, which were just phenomenal to see. They brought in like mixed groups of juniors, and they had like special coaches from some of the teams that coached the two different junior teams. Actually, it was four at champs and two at NAQ. And I mean, from what I could tell, the juniors had a lot of fun doing that, and it gave them experience or exposure into the MRDA, and to like kind of, I feel like that's working with the JRDA and putting together those exposition games was kind of like bridging the gap almost. It was like inviting them into the MRDA. Like, these are juniors, a lot of them are juniors, are aging up or going to be aging up soon. And so just showing them like what's out there and inviting them to these tournaments so they get that experience was, I think it was really special for them. And I think it was just a really like good idea on the MRDA side as well to do that. And it seemed like they all had a ton of fun doing it as well. Even in the coaches as well, like the coaches from the different teams and stuff, they all seemed to really enjoy it as well. So it's great
Very
to see.
cool. I remember when we had Winter Wonder Jam here back in
Mhm.
January, and the handful of aging up kids who are going to be either, working their way towards either MRDA or WFTDA teams. And it was amazing that I remember, because the sport is fairly young, a lot of
Mhm.
people pick it up, in their 20s and 30s, and it's like these kids are coming off, 16 are
Mhm.
seasoned skaters. The influx of youth is going to change how everything is done. I mean, it's going to at least change, it's going to, and who knows, maybe we'll get more recruiting, like, get those juniors up. But I think that's a great answer. And it's, it's exciting that we have teams here, every team here in Rochester, JRDA, MRDA, WFTDA.
Mhm.
Do you have a preference? You like working with all the groups? I mean, we see you at every one of these every one of these games, pretty much.
I mean, I really enjoy working with all three. I There's something special about each league. Like, I started with WFTDA, and so that will always hold a special place in my heart there. Um, and I love working with the kids and seeing some of these kids grow up in Derby is just, it's really fun to watch. And I love working at the MRDA. I've made some amazing friends at the MRDA, and it's always an interesting experience at the various tournaments I go to, whether it be WFTA, JRDA, or MRDA. So I don't really have, I mean, I think different tournaments are different. Like, they have different like levels of interest depending on like what you're watching. Um, but I don't think I really necessarily have a preference, but I think I'm very lucky to be living in a city like Rochester that has all three
Yeah.
organizations. I think that's really special, especially because Rochester is not exactly a huge city. So it's really cool that we have that, and we're lucky that we have that.
I
So.
think we're lucky we have you here, 'cause giving your time to every one of these organizations. This will be the last one. Is there anything that you haven't done that you would like to do in roller derby, in officiating or whatever?
Oh dear.
Announcing? Did I hear announcing? No, no, no.
Oh God, no. I can barely do this. I don't think announcing.
Oh, you're
So,
doing fine. It's like talking, we're just, hanging out.
um, let's see. I don't know. I don't have an answer for that one. Um, I'm sure there's something. I can't think of anything right now.
I
Sorry.
gotcha. No, that's fine. That's fine. I mean, you do so much already. Is there much left for you to do? I mean, you could join like one of the
Learn to
organizations,
skate and then become a skating official, maybe, but that
right?
did not go well last time. So we'll see. We'll see if that happens.
How about you like get on one of the boards or something, of like the organizations, they're always seeming to, find people that want to do it. And you have a lot of drive, which is great. I think just a suggestion, I'm sure, but you're busy enough as it is. You don't need to be, force you to do, paperwork and whatnot. I mean, meeting, it's bad enough you got to meet for all these other tournaments outside of the city. Yeah, I thought that's something I've discovered just this past year is what is it called? Discord. Oh boy, that I get them all the time now, which is fantastic. So, Veronica Scars, I want to thank you so much for coming on Derby Rocks. Thank you, and good luck with the tournament. We will be watching. I cannot wait. World Cup. I feel one thing is very cool is I'm happy for Team USA because one of the coaches would pretty much organized the last one that got canceled, and it got canceled a couple of months before it was going to happen in the United States. And so I felt bad because they had like merch ordered, they had all this stuff going on, and then it was like, and there's a lot, and I'm not saying it's just that everyone had to deal with that. And let's hope we never see a pandemic again, and I'm going to offer you safe travels, and thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.